In a world where everyone is quick to react and prove a point, there's something captivating about the Sigma male approach to disrespect. Sigmas don't seek validation, they don't get tangled up in petty conflicts, and they definitely don't waste time trying to win approval. When faced with disrespect, a Sigma male doesn't lash out or escalate the situation. Instead, he responds with a cool, calculated detachment that speaks volumes without drama. This isn't about being arrogant or unapproachable. It's about having a firm sense of self that makes outside opinions irrelevant. These 15 responses aren't the typical comebacks you'd expect. They're subtle, disarming, and sometimes brutally honest, designed to keep composure intact while putting disrespect in its place. With just a few words, each response reminds the other person that a Sigma male doesn't play by anyone else's rules but his own. If you've ever wondered how to handle disrespect with grace and unwavering confidence, these lines will give you a fresh perspective on the power of quiet strength. So gents, stay with me until the end and be sure to drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's get started. Number 15. I'll let you have the last word, but that doesn't mean you're right. This line is perfect for shutting down any conversation that's gone off the rails. When someone is throwing nonsense your way or trying to drag you into an argument, letting them have the last word without conceding ground is the ultimate show of strength. There's something remarkably powerful about letting someone think they've won while you've already mentally checked out of the discussion, sipping your coffee and moving on with life. It's like saying, "Go ahead, keep talking. I'm not wasting any more energy on this." On the surface, it's polite. You're graciously letting them finish, but beneath it, it's an ironclad statement of self-confidence. You're signaling that their words, opinions, or attempts to rile you up have no power over your peace of mind. You don't need to explain or justify anything. It's as if you're saying, "Sure, have at it, but I'm not here to referee your need for validation." This response leaves them wondering if they've actually accomplished anything by getting the last word, while you've kept your cool and reminded them that not every opinion deserves an argument. Letting them think they're right is just the cherry on top because you know they're not. Number 14. You're free to say whatever helps you sleep at night. This line is a quiet killer, a perfect brush-off that doesn't need to raise its voice to make a point. It's a way of telling someone, "Go ahead, believe whatever you need to believe. I'm not here to challenge it or even care." When you say this, you're not just dismissing their opinion. You're letting them know that whatever narrative they're spinning has no impact on you. This response hits with that subtle punch that makes people pause. It's a reminder that some opinions are more about the person holding them than about any real truth. You're letting them project their insecurities, their need to feel superior, or whatever else is fueling their words, without budging an inch. It doesn't fuel their gossip, it deflates it. You've simply observed, as if baffled by why someone would waste their time with such things. Number 13. I noticed you enjoy talking about others. It must be tiring being so invested in things that don't matter. This line doesn't just respond to gossip, it holds up a mirror. It's a masterclass in saying, "I'm not going to play your game," while highlighting the pettiness of their drama. By casually pointing out their obsession with others, you're letting them know that you see through their attempts to get a rise out of you. This response exposes how small-minded their focus is without you needing to get defensive. It's almost like saying, "If keeping tabs on irrelevant details is your hobby, more power to you, but I've got more interesting things to think about." Number 12. Is that supposed to impress or intimidate me? Because it didn't do either. This line stops anyone trying to flex or intimidate right in their tracks. It's not just a rejection. It's a reminder that their attempt to gain control or validation has failed. The beauty is in its simplicity. You're not reacting emotionally. You're calmly observing that their attempt at dominance missed its mark. It's as if you're amused at their effort, like watching someone try too hard to look cool, only to end up falling flat. You've held your ground without theatrics, leaving them with nothing but the uncomfortable realization that they can't impress or intimidate you. Number 11. Let's see if your actions match all that talk. This line is a straightforward way of calling out someone who's all bark and no bite. When someone boasts or makes big claims, this response subtly challenges them without raising your voice or getting emotional. Instead of getting dragged into empty talk, you're setting a clear expectation. Back up the words with action or move along. It's a confidence move that flips the pressure back onto them, saying, Talk is cheap, prove it if you can. You are fully aware they probably won't, and with that, you walk away. Number 10. I don't need your respect. I have my own. This line is quietly powerful and cuts right to the core of anyone trying to throw you off. It's the ultimate show of self-assurance because you're making it clear that your self-worth doesn't depend on anyone else's approval. In a world where people chase validation, this response is refreshingly bold. You're signaling that their opinion is irrelevant, and for someone with an inflated ego, that's a hard pill to swallow. You're setting a boundary, simply stating a fact. You respect yourself, and that's all that matters. Number 9. Sounds like a you problem. This line is a classic for its brutal simplicity, delivering a reality check in just 5 words. When someone tries to unload their frustrations or grievances on you, this response is like a verbal wall. It's blunt, unfiltered, and a reminder that not every problem they have is yours to solve. By saying, "sounds like a you problem," you're drawing a clear line, making it obvious that whatever they're wrestling with is their burden to carry. Number 8. Are you done trying to be relevant, or should I pretend to care a bit longer? This line masterfully flips the script on someone who's desperately trying to grab attention through disrespect. It cuts through their bravado, exposing their need for validation while asserting your own indifference. By asking if they're done, you're dismissing their attempt to engage you in drama and highlighting how unnecessary their actions are. It's a subtle reminder that you're doing them a favor by even acknowledging them at all. Number 7. I'm not here to compete. I'm here to be real. This line is a powerful declaration that serves as an immediate shutdown for anyone trying to turn interactions into a game of one-upmanship. When someone approaches conversations with the mindset of trying to outshine others, this response cuts through the superficiality. By stating you're not there to compete, you're challenging their approach and exposing the futility of their antics. Number 6. Interesting, but that's not my problem. This response cuts straight to the point without an ounce of drama. When someone tries to push their issues onto you, this line makes it abundantly clear that you're not here to carry anyone else's baggage. You acknowledge their perspective just enough to show you've heard them, but quickly establish a boundary with, "that's not my problem." Number 5. I understand your need to feel superior. It's just not my responsibility to entertain it. This line is ice cold, not because it's dismissive or angry, but because it's calmly insightful. You're acknowledging the other person's attempt to put themselves above you, yet letting them know you won't be a pawn in their game. By understanding their need to feel superior, you're nodding to their insecurities, but from a distance. Number 4. I have nothing to prove to you. This line is a powerful declaration of self-confidence that instantly dismantles any attempts to put you on the defensive. When someone tries to challenge or undermine you, this response makes it clear that you're not there to win their approval or validation. It's a simple, calm way of saying, "I'm secure in who I am, and I don't need external validation to feel that way." By saying this, you subtly reject the need to conform to someone else's expectations or standards. The power of this line lies in its unapologetic simplicity. There's no argument to be made or explanation required. It tells them that whatever they think of you, it holds no weight in your life. With this, you keep your dignity intact, while leaving them with nothing but the realization that you aren't playing their game. Number 3. Noted, but that changes nothing. This response is concise yet definitive. When someone tries to impose their opinions or expectations on you, noted, but that changes nothing sends a strong message that you've heard them, but it won't alter your path. It's a polite acknowledgement, but one that also underscores your independence. This line gives them no room for argument because you've recognized their input without letting it sway you. It's an effective way of staying in control of the conversation and making it clear that you're not influenced by anyone else's opinions or judgments. There's a subtle defiance here, but without any hostility. You're simply letting them know that while they're entitled to their views, you're steadfast in your own. Number 2. Your opinion doesn't define me. This line is a clear assertion of self-worth. In a world where many people are overly concerned with how others see them, saying your opinion doesn't define me is refreshingly bold. It immediately establishes that your self-esteem and identity are not up for debate, and that you're grounded in your own beliefs. This response effectively takes the wind out of the other person's sails, especially if they're trying to get a reaction from you. It shows that their view of you is irrelevant to how you see yourself. There's a calm, Unwavering strength in this statement. It's a reminder that only you get to determine who you are, not the opinions or judgments of others. Number 1. I'll let my actions speak for themselves. This final line is a class act and a quiet assertion of confidence. It suggests that you have no need to engage in arguments, because you know your actions will ultimately reveal the truth. In a world full of empty words and exaggerated claims, this line shows a commitment to authenticity. Instead of being drawn into petty conflicts, you're content to let time and your own behavior do the talking. It's a response that shows profound self-assurance, as it subtly implies that you're focused on real goals to waste energy on someone else's judgments. By refusing to argue and simply letting your actions reflect who you are, you rise above the drama and stay true to yourself, leaving others to realize that words mean little when faced with undeniable results. If you found these insights helpful, feel free to leave a comment. If you're unsure about what to say, simply write "done" to let us know you watched until the end. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, we invite you to subscribe now and become part of our channel. Thank you for your attention. Until next time.